Beliefs, they're like the stories we live in, the unseen scripts that shape our reality. And just as you turn the page in a story, you can also turn the page on any belief, shifting the plot, changing the meaning, opening up whole new worlds. Right now, as you listen, you might even begin to wonder, what if every belief you ever had was simply a suggestion, a flexible framework just waiting to be adjusted, evolved and upgraded? And some part of you already knows, the moment you change the frame, the world inside it also transforms. Like a picture you've always seen, where just the right shift of perspective, it becomes something completely new, richer, more expansive. Imagine someone saying, this situation, it's overwhelming. And you reply, it's not overwhelming, it's simply stretching you, expanding your capacity to handle more than you ever imagined. Can you feel the difference? One frame traps you, the other sets you free. And as you think about that now, notice how your unconscious, it begins to file through the beliefs that you have inside you. Finding ones that might feel a little too small, not quite big enough for who you're becoming. Because reframing, it's like taking that belief, expanding it, softening it, making it breathable again. Most beliefs, they're built from a chain of meanings. If this, then that. If I'm criticised, it means I'm not good enough. But what if you broke that chain? What if you said, criticism, it's just proof that I'm growing, stretching, and reaching into new territory? Then suddenly the whole story changes, doesn't it? Let me tell you a secret. Those chains that seem unbreakable, they were never locked. You held the key all along. Sometimes people say things like, I failed, so I must be a failure. But failure is just a moment, a fleeting event. It's not an identity. And when you hear those words, I must be a failure, it's easy to take a deep breath and gently lift them out of the trap they've built for themselves. No, you might say, you're not a failure. You're an explorer. And explorers sometimes stumble. But every step is part of discovering something greater. And in that moment, something opens, something softens. And the belief that felt like a prison becomes a doorway to something bigger. If someone says, I'll never be good enough, you can smile and say, compared to what? Because every belief is relative. Compared to yesterday, you're already more than enough. Compared to the version of yourself a year ago, you're unrecognizable in your growth. When you compare against possibility instead of limits, even the sky stops being the limit. Someone says, I'm too intense, and you smile and say, you're not too intense, you're passionate. Or, I'm too sensitive, and you reframe it. You're not too sensitive, you're deeply attuned to the world around you. Words are magic. Change one word and change the whole meaning. Because words, they're never just words. They're spells that we cast on ourselves and others, shaping the reality that we step into. When someone says, I'm stuck, you can ask, what will happen if you stay stuck for the next 5 years? And then pause. Let them feel it. Then ask, what could happen if you allowed yourself to break free right now? Notice how the future expands in that second question. Suddenly there's possibilities that weren't there a moment ago. Because sometimes the belief is just waiting for a new story to be written, one with a more inspiring ending. And maybe you're already starting to notice how easy it is to think of your own beliefs in a new light. How every challenge is just an invitation. How every I can't becomes a what if. And how new perspectives unfold in front of you, like a beautiful map you didn't even know you had. The magic of sleight of mouth is that it's not about changing reality. It's about giving yourself more choices. Because with every new frame, every new story, your mind becomes freer. And once your mind is free, what else becomes possible?